One short day in the Emerald City. Okay. I have been sitting on this review for what feels like 2 weeks now. The embargo is releasing today. This is November 19th at noon. So that is when this video is officially releasing. I have been like gripping at the seams. I've seen this movie only once now, but it was at the LA premiere of Wicked. I made myself a gorgeous transforming dress. I was pink 1 second, then green the next. It was amazing, fantastic, and wonderful. And everything about this premiere was magical. It was beautiful. They had dancers there. They had a full, I don't even know, it was like 3 separate parts of this carpet where you could take photos, and then afterwards there was a pre-party where they were having specialty drinks and cocktails, and oh my goodness, they had cars that were dressed up as Elphaba or merch. It was just so pretty, and to see everyone all dressed up for this premiere, this was one of the more elaborate and warm and inviting and just spectacular premieres that I've ever been to. And you could just feel that everyone was so happy to be there. I don't know how else to explain it. There are some times when you go to a premiere and it feels very stuffy, and it feels very much like it's a job. Because at the end of the day, us showing up for this premiere, yes, it is a privilege, but it's also a job. We are wearing merch from different brands. The shoes that I happen to be wearing were sponsored by Aldo. R.I.P. those shoes, though they did break. But, you know, we are decked from head to toe in merchandise. It's like when you see a sporting event, like a boxing, and they've got all of the brand names on their clothes. Or if you go to like NASCAR, they've got all those bumper stickers on them that belong to like different merchandising. That's essentially what we're doing. And who knows how many brands are asking us to do videos for them, etc. It's just, this was one of the first premieres that I went to where it really felt like we were all just there to be immersed in the world of Oz and to just bask in the fun. It felt like theater kids going to see opening night. And I love that. I love that energy. I love that everyone was there to play and to have fun. But you guys aren't here to necessarily hear me talk about the premiere. You want to hear the review. That's why you're here. That's why. And I'm going to be very honest about a few things, so know that. And I'm also going to talk spoilers. But I will be honest on when that's going to happen. So I'll do like a 2-minute non-spoiler review, and then I am going to jump into the spoiler-heavy review. So without further ado, let us talk about the non-spoiler Wicked review. Now let me start by saying this. The entirety of the Broadway play, from start to finish, from Elphaba being a baby and being born, all the way until everything that happens at the very end that I'm not going to spoil in case you aren't familiar with the Broadway play. The entirety of that is 2 hours and 30-ish minutes. Part 1 of this film franchise, this 2-movie franchise, is 2 hours and 41 minutes alone. Part 1, that means everything before the first act, usually an hour, maybe an hour 15, maybe, is now 2 hours and 41 minutes. That is over an hour. That's more than an hour's worth of extra stuff that they've added into this first act alone. And you see that and you feel that, and it is so cool. It is everything that they added just fleshes out the characters and it fleshes out the world so much more. And there are moments where you do know it. There's interactions between Glinda, gotta be specific. There's moments between Glinda and Fiyero that they definitely added, and it adds more sauce to both of their characters. There's a little bit more that they add to the dance sequences, and there's a little bit more that they add to Glinda and to Elphaba's friendship that fleshes that out. They just play a little bit more in these worlds, and it's nice. You don't really feel that all of this extra stuff is weighing down the film. You just immerse yourself into this world, and it becomes nice and like I mentioned it earlier, it just feels warm. This show makes you feel warm. I will make a note about this. It's still non-spoilery, but I will make a note that if you're going to see this movie on opening weekend, which I'm sure hundreds of thousands of you will, you need to note that there's a lot of people that are going to have movie couch behavior. And what I mean by that, and it's something that I experienced even at the premiere, there were a couple of influencers, whoever behind us, that felt like this movie theater was their couch at home. And it wasn't that they were singing. I would have been fine if they were singing because I wanted to sing too. No one really did. We allowed everyone to experience this film on their own for the first time. But these individuals decided they were at their couch at home and started like not just talking open-mouthed, but they were memeing and giving like a bunch of yes girls, or why is she wearing that, or why is she talking like that, you know who would actually be a really good person to play in this, so and so. And we're having like open dialogue conversations. I pray that no one does that at your theater. However, do note that people are gonna be comfortable in this film. This film makes you feel like you're a part of the world, and it definitely makes you feel, I'm sure for some people, that you can have couch behavior. Just know that if you're going in the first time, people are already very comfortable with these characters and they're comfortable in this world. And so their behavior is gonna reflect that. If you were looking for a more private viewing, I wouldn't recommend going definitely like 7 o'clock on Thursday or Friday or Saturday. Maybe try a matinee if you just want to experience this and love this for yourself, because there are going to be people who want to talk and play and immerse themselves. I know that they are releasing sing-along versions. I think in December sometime, there's some sing-along versions that I will be popping into that are specific. And I think they're going to have like the little lyrics bouncing on screen. But give people a chance to experience this film in their own ways. Don't talk. I digress. Going back to the actual show, still non-spoilery, I think my favorite part about this had to be the sets, and it had to be the costumes. I think that Elphaba in herself had like 20 different costumes. There's a huge, right before she gets her letter, there's a huge montage of them going through school, and she's got so many cute little outfits. Obviously, Glinda, I still don't understand why Glinda gets to wear pink and not the uniform, but she's got money and she's cute, so who cares? But obviously Glinda's got a whole wardrobe full of outfits. I mean, Elphaba can't even get to her own bed because she's got so many clothes in the room. My favorite standout character, other than Nessa Rose, had to have been Peter Dinklage's character, Mr. Dillamond. Even as a goat, I think that right now the message that that particular character is portraying, given the election, given everything about the way that people are oppressed and put down and belittled, I think that that role is so important, and he did it so preciously. And I think that he put the respect and really the way that that particular scene and storyline is stretched out, and even his song and the way that they, again, not spoiling anything, but the way that they express his song in this movie really shows you the oppression and what it means to be other. And I loved it, because as heartwarming and as fun as this press tour has been, the story of Wicked really is about celebrating differences. I mean, and again, I go back to, other than Nessa Rose, like Nessa Rose's character talks about disability, and it's important that they really showed, don't help her. She's got this. She will let you know if she needs help. She's not unable to exist in this world. And they express that in this film, and they show you that disability doesn't always mean disabled to do. And you know, we see all the ways that all of these things are challenged and strengthened in this movie. And as fun and as pretty as it is that Glinda is throwing her pink dress and fancy around, you know, all that is fun. But the movie in itself, in its core, is talking about the strength of being other and the power that comes from not going by the natural order of things and the code. And God, there's this beautiful, I'm going to try to say this non-spoilery, but there's a moment in this film where Glinda sees the power not only of appreciating the difference, but the hurt that she has inflicted by forcing others to treat people negatively. And there's a moment where she sees what happens when she chooses to be better and to help others rather than hurting others. And it's, I think, the most precious moment in this whole film. This movie is great. This movie is great. I'm already excited for part 2. I think the relationship between Cynthia and Ariana is beautiful. I think that the friendship that they've developed really shows on screen, but the friendship of the whole cast. I think that this truly is a family, and I love, as a theater kid myself, what this is showing us. It's showing us that when you put a bunch of people together on set, a family naturally forms, and you want to root for your family. You want to cheer them on. You want to uplift them. You want to support them. You want to fight with them, and you want to make up after. And that's what we're getting in this film. We are getting a family, and we get to see a family live and grow and support each other. I loved it. I loved everything, that not only on screen, but off screen, but even the community. I mean, this felt like Barbie level, where outside in the world, we are all showing our pinks and our greens. You know, we want to show our support to this film because we love the theater community. We love Broadway. We love stories that are more than just a pretty girl in a pink dress. It's about a girl in green who chooses to be different and show the world that different is also beautiful. I love it. I love everything about this. I love what the message behind it of saying that we all need a voice, you know, that it's giving voices to the voiceless, i.e. the animals. It's everything about this is important. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there because this video is going to get real long and real political if I keep going in this direction. But let's get to the spoilers. So at this point, if you have not watched this film, stop here, like it, subscribe, come back, watch it again after this weekend when you've watched it, because we're going to get onto the spoilers now. And there's really only like 2 big spoilery things that I do want to talk about. But we're in the spoilers, so 3, 2, 1. We are now talking spoilers. Okay, so these spoilers actually come from, there's something that I wish was done. I'm talking not only the musical, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about the book and the things that I wish we would have gotten in the book. And I'm going to first talk about the one thing that I've been waiting, and it's so weird because I read this book when I was young, and then I read it maybe in my teens. But there's one thing, and it doesn't even really matter, but it's one thing that I wish so stupidly that I wish they would have carried in just because I want to see it. I'm selfish. But something in the book that is actually 2 things in the book. One that's really selfish, and one I kind of wish they would have done, but it's fine. One, in the books, Elphaba is a hermaphrodite. She's intersexual. So I wish they would have put some sort of a nod to that in there. It might have been a little bit too woke for the middle of America. And so I could see the movie not doing well if they just kept, but it would have been nice to carry a little bit more of the difference of Elphaba from other people. That being said, the big thing from the books, two big things. I'm not just like 3. There's so many things from the books I want to talk about. But the big thing from the book that I always thought was really cute and charming and led to her demise in The Wizard of Oz, The Water of It All, is Elphaba doesn't like water. She truly does not like water, and they discovered that when she was a baby, she would like cry and scream whenever she was around water, which is where those rumors came from. But in order to correct that, they bathed her in milk. She would always take baths in milk, and so she was stinky. She always smelled like sour milk, and that led to the children not liking her. And I don't know, I really wish they would have put like a quick little clip of her bathing in milk, and then that's where that rumor comes from in Ozland. I think there might even be like a quick little snippet later on in the second act where there's like a line or something, but that's what leads them to be like, oh, she hates water. Let's throw a bucket of water on her. It's because she just didn't like water when she was a baby and they bathed her in milk. Like, it's not like she's necessarily, you know, whatever with it, but the Wicked Witch of the West is not actually allergic to water. She just don't like it. And she was just bathing in milk when she was a baby. And I just wish, that's a personal thing for me. Something they did add, though, from the books is her nursemaid and her love for animals. Her parents obviously hated her because of the fact that she's green, and 2, because of her turning green, you know, her mother eating milk flour, Nessa Rose coming out too early and unfortunately her legs not being fully developed and so she's in a wheelchair, all of these things leading to her father not caring about her, not appreciating her, not acknowledging her as a child. And so she got all of her love and her comfort from her bear nursemaid, from her animal servants. She spent the majority of her time with animals, and that's why she's such an advocate for animal rights. And I love that they added that in there, because in the play, we don't really get that. I think Mr. Dillamond is really the goat teacher, is the only one that we really see other than the flying monkeys in the Broadway play. There's notes and there's comments about how she was raised by animals, but to see on screen her love for animals, it's just thank you for adding that, because it adds such another level to her character, knowing that she was shunned by humans but was appreciated by animals who also saw her as other. It just it's just the little things, you know? It's the little things that really round out a character, and I feel like that was so necessary. Also, if you remember this photo from way back when, can we talk about this moment? If you watched it already, I'm assuming if you're here for the spoilers, you watched it already. So this moment we were all crazy about, because we were like, oh, cool, like when they get to Oz, we're gonna see, you know, the OG characters. No, they said that was a red herring. Not only are they in there, we're gonna give you them singing and dancing, and oh my God, the way that they added the OG characters, the way that Kristen Chenoweth slapped Ariana Grande's face when she started singing. She was like, no, it's like, it's my turn. Loved it. And then we got, we got Idina Menzel's, like we got her to do her thing on screen. It was the way the audience went crazy for them coming on screen, and we got to see them also walking out on stage together, which was amazing. And I loved it, guys. I loved it. I loved everything about this. I just wanted to express how cool it was that that didn't get spoiled until the show came out. And if you watched it to the end and you got spoiled, that's on you. That's on you. I warned you. I warned you I was going to talk spoilers, and I wanted to talk about the fact that they are in there in Emerald City singing together. We got the four of them on screen together, all singing together, and it was just, I loved it. I loved it. My absolute final note is how exciting is this world of Oz that we are creating, and with the excitement of Wicked and the fact that this first movie is already doing so spectacularly, and that's before the movie actually releases. From the box office sales, this movie is going to rival the Barbies, the Oppenheimers. It's going to do so incredibly well. Does that mean that we could have the multiverse or the franchise that is the world of Oz? Could we possibly see a filmed version of Son of a Witch? Could the world expand even more and we see the love child of two characters from this film? There's so much that could happen with this, and I just wanted to throw my little tidbit in there. I'm excited. I want that movie. I want this to continue beyond this world and beyond part 1 and part 2, and possibly get the sequel that is The Son of a Witch. Just saying. Negative things. Do I have negative things? I do, but I don't want to talk about them. I'll talk about them later. The movie is fine. I want you guys to truly immerse yourself in the world of this. My only negative thing, I guess, I don't know. Some of the music dancing went along a little bit too long. I guess. It's not true. I loved it. Everything about this was great. I know that there are some negatives in there, but I think it's just, in a first watch of this film, I just had a lot of fun. That's really it. I think my only negative critique would probably be that there are gonna be people who are gonna ruin this for you just because the way that they watch this movie is gonna be different than the way that you watch this movie. But if you truly love Wicked, and if you truly love Ariana Grande and Cynthia, you're gonna love this, you know? Michelle Yeoh is in this. You're gonna love her. There's just so many things about this to love and to enjoy. And I think if you hold on to that, you're gonna have a really great time. That's all I got. That's all I'm gonna say, because I gotta get this video out. Let me know your thoughts after you guys watch it. Let me know in the comments what you're excited about to watch beforehand. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and I will see you guys for the next. Obviously, I'm going to see you guys for part 2, but I'll also see you for another review. So I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.